Hey, what's up, Scallywags? Oh, I better get my seatbelt on. Oh, fuck. Heading over to Shane's. I don't even know what the fucking date is today. It's a brand new dance. Sweeping the nation. Do the wango, the tango. Bound in and out. This is a little love song dedicated to all that Nashville pussy. Little love song called Wang Dang Sweet Poo Tang. Bound in and out. Bound in and out. Whoa. Bound in and out. Oh, Lordy have mercy. This weekend, man, the brothers gonna get together. We're gonna go to Cahokia Mounds and barbecue at the park there. Tiki got a hold of me today. He goes, man, what do you want me to make, man? I heard it was your birthday on the 11th. And I said, you don't need to make me nothing, brother. It's just, at 58 years old, it's just another fucking day, man. And it's just another day going down Big Jim Brigada. He's always there with the free advice. He's got pearl handle pistols under his vest. Want me to go drinking with them tonight. And it's just another day. Just another day. Watching girls on the street, well, that's alright with me. And it's just another day. My homie Nate Dogg, his daughter, he was going to go down to Florida and see her, but his ex got a hold of him and said she's going to be in town on the 7th of August. We're supposed to go down Soulard and get her there. It'd be good to see her again. I stole it from the movie Billy Jack, but I call Cheyenne God's gift to sunshine. She's so just bright and bubbly and full of life that I call her God's gift to sunshine because she's so beautiful. She makes the sun look dull. Going down. I hate this fucking thing, man. And it's just another day. Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the blessings I've known? Try me, Lord, if you think there's a way that I can repay what I've taken from you. Maybe, Lord, I could show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. Lord, help me, Jesus. I wasted it, so help me, Jesus. I know what I am. Now that I know that I need it, just so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands. Southtown. Going Southtown. Yeah, my daughter sent me a foot massager thing. It's the first foot massager that I ever had that I could actually feel it. My left foot's pretty numb from that surgery and all, and I could actually feel that one. It's got like little round knuckle balls that move around down there. She goes, well, did you try it yet? And I said, yeah, but I only do it when I'm not wanting to stay awake. And she goes, what do you mean? And Amy said every time I put my feet in them things, I fall asleep. And she sent me a little angel of precious moments. Angel, she said, I thought maybe it reminds you of your Grandma Rose. She used to collect little precious moment statues. I've got a bunch of them with the boxes at home. I've got all the stuff. I don't got much to leave my kids, but all the stuff I've got for them, I've got their name written on the bottom of it, you know. And I've got, when my Grandma Rose died, she left her precious moments were all divided up between her sons, her daughter-in-laws, and her grandchildren. I've got like 5 of them I keep in a little curio cabinet. 3 of the 5 I've got are ones that I bought her when she was alive. She was something else. I miss her a lot. Both sides of my family, you know, my grandma on my dad's side, my Grandma Rose, my grandpa liked to think that he was in charge, but he wasn't. Grandma, if our family was like a mafia, my grandmother would have been the godfather. She was something else. She was Bohemian. Her maiden name was Kunkel. Rosemary Zenobia. She didn't like her middle name Zenobia, but I looked up Zenobia, and she was a queen. Not only was she a queen, she was a queen that was very loved by her people because she gave back to her people, took good care of them. Queen Zenobia. But Grandma didn't like that name. But you'd go to Grandma's house, man, and she was the best. Her motto, it was God, family, friends, in that order. She believed God came first, then your family, and then your friends. God, family, friends. She drilled that into our heads. And she was tough. She was real tough. Whenever I was a kid, Mom and Dad got divorced. We went to school right by Grandma's, and we'd get off the bus and walk down the street to Grandma's house. And this kid lived 2 houses down in the cul-de-sac there. Me and him would get in fist fights all the time. And Grandma would sit out on the front porch and watch us fight. She was tough, real tough. I remember one time we were putting siding on her house, and it was that old asbestos, like plate, clay. It's like plate almost siding. I remember tearing that shit off, and we were throwing it in the dumpster. And I remember Grandma there pushing shit down and the dust just coming out of there. We put wood siding on her house for her. But I was up on a ladder in the back, and this kid was cutting through. He hopped the fence in the back and was cutting through. And my grandma said, "Hey," she said, "I don't mind you cutting through the yard, but, you know, the least you could do is introduce yourself and let us know who you are." And he said, "Fuck you, lady." I was in high school. He was about my age. I was probably 15 and a half, 16. I come sliding down that ladder and started for him. And my grandma said, "No, I got this." And she grabbed him up and slapped the fuck out of that kid. Slapped the hell out of him. "I don't know who you think you're talking to." And by that time, my dad and my uncles come running around the house, and my cousins and my brother. And it was, I mean, all males. My grandpa had 4 sons. My dad had 3 sons. My Uncle Danny had 4 sons. My Uncle Rick had 1 son. My Uncle Bobby had a son and a daughter. I had 3 sons and 1 daughter. And then my Marissa, Tiffany, and then Brenna, my cousin Paula, she had a little girl. All of them were named Rose, their middle name, after my grandma Rose. I call it our rose garden. I begged your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gotta be a little rain sometimes. First thing I remember knowing was a lonesome whistle blowing, and the youngins' dream of growing up to ride on a freight train leaving town, not knowing where I'm bound. No one could steer me right, but Mama tried. You're an only rebel child from family meek and mild. My mama seemed to know what lay in store. Despite all my Sunday learning, to the bad I kept on turning, till Mama couldn't hold me anymore. And I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. No one could steer me right, but Mama tried. Mama tried. Mama tried to raise me better, but her pleading I denied. That leaves only me to blame, 'cause Mama tried. She sure as hell did. Nobody fought harder than my mother to save me from myself, and that is a fact. She tried everything, and most of those things, she tried them twice. Whenever I was young, I just really thought I had the whole world figured out. I thought I knew it all. I didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I didn't know shit. It's the crazy thing about us human beings. Human beings are an incredible creation. Absolutely incredible creation. We only have one major flaw. We come into this world not knowing anything. And And by the time you start figuring things out a little bit, what life's really about, the things that matter and the things that don't, it's time to go home. It's time to leave. Life was meant to be lived backwards, but unfortunately we have to live it forward. It's a learn as you go thing. So don't hit your mother in the head with the shovel. It leaves a bad impression on her mind. Be a prom king girly, Mr. Clean chumming your mama at your back door. Then your late night bar fight. Damn right, I'm the guy passed out on your floor. Don't gotta spin me around to see. There ain't no in between the two sides of me. This ain't a love song, but don't get me wrong. I'm gonna love you all night long till the loving and the liquor's gone. If you're gonna like me, girl, you better find me right before the sun goes down. I'm like a match to gasoline. I'm nice as hell till I get mean. The old man was covered with tattoos and scars. He got some in prison and others in bars. The rest he got working on old junk cars in the daytime. And the neighbors said we lived like hicks, but they brung their car for Pa to fix anyhow. He was veteran proud, tried and true. He'd fight till his heart was black and blue. Didn't know how he made it through the hard times. He bought our house on the GI Bill, but it wasn't worth all he had to kill to get it. He drank Pearl in a can and drank Jack Daniels Black, chewed tobacco from a mail pouch sack, had no dog that was trained to attack. Sometimes he'd get drunk and mean as a rattlesnake, and there wasn't too much that he would take from a stranger. There were 13 kids and a bunch of dogs, house full of chickens and a yard full of hogs. Spent the summertime cutting up logs for the winter, trying like the devil to find the Lord, working like a nigger for my room and board. Coal burning stove, no natural gas. And if that ain't country, I'll kiss your ass. If that ain't country, it'll hair lip the Pope. If that ain't country, it's a damn good joke. I seen the Grand Ole Opry, and I met Johnny Cash. And if that ain't country, I kiss your ass. Hey baby, que paso? Going over the mighty Mississippi, over the Stan Musial Bridge. St. Louis is and always will be a baseball town. Always will be. Stan the Man Musial. My grandfather was in grade school with Stan Musial. And Stan the Man, he was a class act on the baseball field, And he was a class act off of the baseball field. He was a good man. They named that bridge after him that we're on right now. Highway at night. Darkness of the moon. Got cocaine, not whiskey. I need to do another video about Phoebe Shoemaker. You know, you got people in this world that, it reminds me of that Bible verse where people are giving money and the one lady only has one coin and she gives it, and they're like, she only gave a little bit. And Jesus is like, that's all she had to give. This woman, Phoebe Shoemaker. I was running away. I was a young kid. And Phoebe, when I say she had nothing, I mean she had nothing. She was on public assistance. She got HUD housing, Section 8, food stamps, and that woman would feed every derelict homeless kid in the fucking neighborhood. She had nothing and she gave everything. She could barely keep her own kids clothed and fed. And there was always 2 or 3 people that were homeless living there. I could always count on Phoebe for a meal. I remember one time she come in. It was summertime, she was real hot. She was carrying 2 big trash bags full of clothes. She went up to Goodwill, got a bunch of clothes up there, and she was holding them up. She said, Mark, come here once. She said, take these 2 pairs of jeans up in the bathroom and try them on. She said, your jeans all got holes in them and I ain't got no patches. Go in and see if these jeans fit you. So many times I was hungry. Phoebe would always feed me. She'd let me stay there from time to time. She'd always say, now you stay away from my daughter, you hear? And that you hear, that was her exclamation point on what she was saying. And her daughter, Michelle, was like a sister to me. I loved her like a sister. And I didn't have much of anything. I was a homeless kid. I figured the way I could pay Phoebe back is I would protect anybody that had that woman's blood running through their veins. So I spent my life looking out for Michelle and her son Michael, and I loved that woman. She was like a mother to me. And she was dating this guy. Oh my God, I couldn't believe he did that. Phoebe didn't have nothing, but she was clean. She kept her house clean. She wasn't cooking food for an army trying to feed all of us derelict neighborhood kids. She was cleaning that house, and she was dating this guy. We're in the living room. We were watching something on TV. And this son of a bitch takes and does like you do on a construction site. You got to blow your nose. He covered one nostril and he shot that shit out right on the fucking living room floor, man. And I looked at him and I said, did you just do what I think you just did? And he said, I had to blow my nose, man. I got up, grabbed him by the hair. He had real long hair, longer than mine is right now. I drug that son of a bitch out of the house, down the back steps, just beating the shit out of him. Phoebe come out, she's like, son, stop, son, stop. And I stopped and I told her what he did. And then she started cussing at him and ran him off. I could not believe that son of a bitch did that. And her backyard's where me and Dennis finally locked up. This dude, he was a real good fighter from down in Cahokia. And we were having problems. It was getting dangerous too. I come out of a house one night, my buddies, this was around high school age. I was about 19. I was getting some weed. I come walking out, man, and I got down on the sidewalk and lights come on this car, man, and the car floored it. He tried to run me over, and my buddy's front yard was real steep, so I ran up that front yard at an angle, and Dennis almost rolled his car trying to run me over. Shot at me once. I caught him up on, that was funny, I caught him up on East Main in traffic, and was trying to open the door and get him out of the car. Scott Osborne was driving. He started taking off, so I jumped on the hood and I was stabbing the front windshield. Well, they punched it and went up on the sidewalk. He went down a block or two, took a hard left. I went flying off the hood of that car. I mean, we was going at it pretty heavy there for a while. And I was at Phoebe's one night, and I don't know where he come from. He come out of nowhere and tackled me, and we went through these bushes. And I ended up on bottom, but I liked fighting on bottom. I played fucking 8 years of soccer, and I mean, at one time my legs were like pythons, and I could fight from the bottom good, punch from the bottom good, and I wrapped my legs around them. I was just squeezing the fucking life out of them and hitting them. And he took his thumb and he tried to stick his thumb in my eye. So I got my hands up on the inside and I grabbed him by both sides of his head, by his ears and his head. And I pulled his head down and I bit his nose as hard as I could, just started shaking my head. Next thing I know, it's like somebody's got a hose on us or something, except for it was warm. And I'm like, why is this water warm? I'm thinking, because it was in the autumn, you know. I had on a t-shirt and a flannel shirt. And I looked up, man, and his nose, the only thing holding his nose on his face was the one nostril. It was hanging. All this blood coming out of his nose, and he's like, I quit. So I let him go, and he got up and left, and he never snitched on me or nothing. Then I got a call from Scott about a week or so after. He said, man, he wants to meet up with you. He said he don't want to fight no more. So I've been waiting forever to hear that. But I was freaking out. I had never bit nobody's nose off their face before. Been in a lot of fights, but never bit nobody's, had to bite somebody's nose off. And I called up my dad's dad, my grandpa, and I said, Grandpa, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he said, what do you mean? What's going on? And I said, the guy, we got to fight, and I bit his nose off. He said, you what? I said, I bit his nose off, and my grandpa started laughing. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is he laughing at? And he goes, oh, Mark, what are we going to do with you? I said, Grandpa, he was trying to take my eye. I mean, he's been to prison for all kinds of things. One time he went to prison, he shot his own uncle's kneecap. Shot him right in the kneecap with a pistol. Very dangerous man. Then that day we met up, we walked into this gas station, and I grabbed a fifth of Jack Daniels and a bag of Shell peanuts. And I walked up and I looked the guy at the checkout. I looked him right in the eyes and I said, thank you very much. And we walked out and didn't pay for it. We're walking down this cobblestone road towards trailer park and hitting that bottle of Jack Daniels, and cop lights come on behind us, man. Went to city jail, and they took us over to court to arraign us. And Judge Donovan, he used to remind me of Harry on Night Court. He's up in there, and He said, Mark, weren't you, they called my name and I went up there and he said, weren't you just in on a burglary or something? I said, yeah, there wasn't enough evidence to let me go. And he said, well, you're going to county for this. He said, scoot over, get your paperwork. So I'm scoot over and Dennis goes up. He called Dennis and he looked at his ticket. He goes, what, you was grabbing the peanuts while Volkerding was grabbing the booze? Everybody at court was laughing their asses off. Dennis got bailed out. They took us over to the county. We got back in the blocks and he got bailed out. And about 4 hours later, they called my name. They said, bunk and jump. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because nobody ever bails me out. And he had bailed me out, which was cool as fuck of him. He had one guy that owed him money. He knew I was good at collecting money. But we was together one night, me, him, and his cousin. We went to this big party. And the guy that owed him money was there. And dude was freaking out. And Dennis goes, you know what, Mark? He goes, Mark, just stab that motherfucker up. I flipped my butterfly knife out, took one step towards him, and he pissed all over himself. And Dennis goes, oh, man. He goes, never mind, man. He goes, that's worse than fucking getting beat, pissing on yourself. I had that guy was sending me messages on Facebook saying I needed to pay for what I did, and I told him to get in line. So it's a long line. Get in line, motherfucker. I said, if you ain't gonna get over going pee-pee into your pants, you sure as fuck ain't gonna get over what I'll do to you now you fuck with me. Dennis is a wild one. Every time he'd pick me up in a car, man, like I had a long sleeve shirt on, I'd grab the handle with the sleeve of the shirt, because you could bet the car was probably stolen. He spent most of his life in prison too. But you gotta shoot your own uncle's kneecap. It's pretty fucked up, man. That's my buddy that Johnny, my other brother Johnny, pulled out a pistol and put it right to his forehead and pulled the trigger. Fucking Johnny, the clip fell out. I said, what the fuck, man? You didn't have the clip in all the way, and didn't you check, make sure there was something in the... No sense having a pistol unless you got it locked and loaded. He goes, I was pissed off, man. I went in the bedroom, grabbed it, walked back in, and put it to his head and pulled the trigger. Man, Dennis ain't somebody to be doing that kind of shit to. You do something like that to him, you better make sure you put him down. Yeah, he's a wild one. I had to bite his nose off to get him off of me, man. But they sold it back on and everything. It don't look, it looks okay, I guess, but it don't look like it used to. Sold that motherfucker back on. This over on the right, there's a Anheuser-Busch distributing center. When we were younger, during the winter time, they had a big dumpster out there. And any cans with dents, misprints, any flaws and shit, they'd throw it out there in that dumpster. And you'd look in there sometimes. There was nights we took 2-3 big plastic trash cans full of beers out of there. Michelob, Budweiser, Busch. And we'd go out on the back roads. We'd put it in the trunk of the car and go out on the back roads and fucking party. And too many people found out about it. They hired security and put cameras up because some dumbasses got in there and were doing damage to the vehicles. And I remember one night, me and Dave, we We got so drunk sitting there out there in that dumpster drinking beer. Fucking woke up next morning. We both passed out. Woke up next morning. I heard trucks in the yard. They were loading up the trucks, getting ready to start their day. And I woke Dave up. I said, "Hey, man." He said, "What?" I said, "Fucking get up, man. Fucking there's people here." They had a spot in the back in the chain link. We go underneath that fence. Yeah. Some crazy days. The highway at night. But I'm going to hop off here, people. I hope you're all doing good, though. Much love to everybody. May all your ups and downs be in your bed. And you know the deal. Don't let your meatloaf. Peace out.